Hello PokeMoshPit, my name is ThePikaWu, and I am bringing you my second upload to this channel. First, before we start this battle, I would just like to thank everyone who watched my previous battle and left feedback or gave the video a thumbs up, and I really appreciated that. As you can see, I made really big changes to my Pokemon battles, and hopefully this will make my battles better. Today I will be bringing you a NU tier battle against a YouTuber called FluxStatic. He is the NU guru of the European Pokemon League and is an amazing battler. This battle really came down to the wire, so I hope you relax and enjoy the battle. Okay guys, so my opponent is going to lead off with a Grotle, while I'm going to lead off with a Gardevoir. And I know I can hit this Grotle really hard with the Psychic, so I'm just going to go for that straight away. My opponent switches into a Gorebyss, which is a really weird switch-in, because Psychic is still going to do a lot of damage since Gorebyss doesn't have the best special defense. Maybe he was predicting a Trick or a Will-O-Wisp, but another Psychic should be able to take it out. Unfortunately, he's going to save his Gorebyss for later and goes into a Hypno, and Hypno is one of the best special walls in the NU tier. I know most Hypnos like to carry the Thunder Wave, so I am going to go for this Safeguard to protect my team from status moves. But this Hypno is actually going to set up some screens, which isn't too bad because the Hypno isn't carrying the Light Clay, and I can just Encore to lock this Hypno into the Reflect. Now I can hit the incoming switch-in hard with the Psychic, and my opponent goes into a Kecleon to probably scout out if I pack the Shadow Ball or not. But I get a critical hit here, which I am really sorry for, because that really sucks for him since that's going to severely limit the use of that Kecleon. I go into Skuntank to Pursuit Trap this Kecleon now, since the Kecleon is Psychic type due to his ability, and to my surprise, this Kecleon is actually a Life Orb physical sweeper, but that isn't too bad because I will be able to take it down with this Pursuit here, and the Kecleon didn't do too much, it didn't really hurt my Skuntank too much. And now my opponent is going to go into a Sharpedo, and this is a really big threat to my team, and one wrong misplay can allow this Sharpedo to pretty much rip through my team. So I have really no safe switch-in, so I'm just going to go for the Sucker Punch to deal as much damage as possible, but he actually goes for the Substitute, predicting my switch, Explosion, or the Sucker Punch. So I'm just going to go for the Sucker Punch again just to break this Substitute and leave this Skuntank here to die. Now that I have a free switch-in, I'm going to go into my Porygon 2 for a couple of reasons. I can get the special attack boost, and I see that he is a substitute set, so there's a really good possibility that the Sharpedo is packing the Waterfall over the priority move Aqua Jet. And my plan here is to go for the Agility, go for the Charge Beam as he goes for the Waterfall, and then take him out with another Charge Beam. But that's my plan, and he goes for the Crunch here, and the Crunch shouldn't do too much damage, and even if he does carry the Aqua Jet, I do have a good amount of chance to survive that combination. But unfortunately, I don't live that Aqua Jet, and my Porygon 2 goes down without doing anything. In hindsight, I should have just not set up the Agility and just went for the Charge Beam just to take down the Sharpedo. But I'm just going to go into my Poliwrath here just to finish off this Sharpedo with a Waterfall. And thankfully, this Sharpedo is finally down because that was a really big threat to my team. And now my opponent decides to go into a Gorebyss, and I don't know what this Gorebyss is, if it's a Baton Passer or a Sweeper. So I just leave my Poliwhirl here to scout out what set this Gorebyss is. And now that I find out this is a Life Orb Special Sweeper with Hidden Power Grass, I can go into my Magmortar, outspeed this Gorebyss, and finish off the Gorebyss with the Thunderbolt. And the Gorebyss is going to be down. He doesn't switch out, probably because he doesn't really have a safe switch-in to this Magmortar. Now, my opponent goes back into a Hypno, and I really don't want to take a Thunder Wave, but my opponent actually carries the Toxic over the Thunder Wave, which isn't too bad. So I go into my Gardevoir because I do pack the Lumberry, and I can just go for the Encore. But he does choose to switch out, which makes my Encore fail. But he goes into a Grotle, and I can just hit that Grotle really hard with the Psychic, and that is going to be an easy 2-hit KO. He is going to set up the Leech Seed, which isn't too bad because I can just take down this Grotle the next turn. But the opponent is just going to switch out and go back into Hypno, and Hypno can pretty much fully wall this Gardevoir, and this really sucks because this matchup is pretty much a stalemate. since I can't do much to the Hypno and he can't do much to the Gardevoir, but he has the advantage since he does have the Leech Seed on me. So I am going to choose to switch out to get rid of the Leech Seed. So I go into Sand Slash, which is pretty bulky and can take a couple of Psychics. Although it doesn't appreciate taking it, it can take it. And unfortunately for me, he does get the special defense drop, and I really don't want to take another Psychic after that defense drop. So I am going to choose to go back into my Gardevoir to take the Psychic. And my opponent is actually going to double switch and switch into a Grotle, which is a really nice matchup for me because I can just take down this Grotle with a Psychic. And he doesn't bother switching out. I really don't know why, because he could have just switched out back into his Hypno to pretty much wall my Gardevoir. Here, I'm just going to go for the Safeguard in case he does go for the Psychic, or in case he goes for the Toxic, but he actually just goes for the Psychic instead. And my plan here is to Encore him and lock him into Psychic, and hopefully I can just go for the Destiny Bond at the last minute before he kills me and then take both of our Pokemon down. And I'm just gonna go for some more Psychics just to deal a little bit of damage to this Hypno. And he does get the special defense drop, which isn't too bad because looking at that past Psychic, he shouldn't be able to take me down with this Psychic, and I do live with 5 HP. And now this turn, I am going to go for the Destiny Bond, and he does stay in and attack me once more, so that's going to take down his Hypno along with my Gardevoir. And that's really nice because that Hypno is a really big pain since my last two Pokemon are my Magmortar and my Sandslash, and I can't really do too much to that Hypno with those two Pokemon. Now, I go into my Magmortar here because I wanted to see what his last Pokemon is, and I can hit hard pretty much on any Pokemon in the NU metagame with a Magmortar. And fortunately for me, it is a Vileplume, which will take a super effective Fire Blast to the face, and that will take down his last Pokemon. So, yep, that was the game. So, make sure you guys leave a thumbs up if you haven't already, and I hope you enjoyed this battle. I really appreciate you guys for supporting my last video, and it makes my hours of boring editing totally worth it. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this narration, and if you guys would like to see more content, feel free to check out my YouTube channel out. This is ThePikaWu. Thank you for watching my battle. See ya.